Good morning. Um, there's a lot of fear going around the world right now. But for a believer, we have three tremendous opportunities. And the first one is most of us have time to grow closer to Jesus, grow closer to God now. We're in America, most of us are at home. A lot of places are closed, so we have an opportunity to become closer to Jesus. We have an opportunity to spend more time with Him and become the friend He wants us to be, to get to know Him better, to spend, and the way you get to know anybody is you spend time with them. We spend time in prayer, we spend time in listening, we spend time in His Word. We learn everything we can learn about Him. Most of us have an opportunity to do that. But as a disciple of Jesus Christ, if you're a true disciple, a true follower of Jesus, everything you are able to do will be done by Him through you as you grow closer and closer and closer, because the closer you get to Him, the more He's able to do through you. The more He stays in your mind, the more He stays in your heart, the more He stays in your words. And many of us have an opportunity right now to spend hours a day with Jesus. Don't miss it. You'll never be the same in a good way. And that leads right into the next opportunity we have. I'm 58, and that's not that old, It's not that young, but it's not that old. It's when you kind of start thinking, I might be old, you know, but I might be starting to get old. But anyway, the more time you spend with Jesus, John 15:7, abide in me, and when you abide in me, and my words abide or remain in you, then you will ask what you want, and it shall be done for you, because he's telling you what to ask for. You're asking for His will, and you're not giving Him your to-do list like I did for many, many years. And I used to get up and give, thinking God was on my side, and give Him my to-do list, and then get on about my day and hope He performed well. One morning He just stopped me cold. I mean, I just had a shuddering thought, really. And the thought was, when are you going to stop asking how I can help you and start asking how you can help me? I'll never forget that. So, when we start asking for His help, we should not put any direction with it. Father, your will be done. What are you doing, Father? What's my part in it, Father? Father, what I do is up to you, not up to me. I present my body a living sacrifice. Holy Spirit, stand as Lord over my mind. Correct me, discipline me, teach me. And you start asking that every day, and guess what? In a few days, you'll be reminded every time you step out of line. And you can apologize, you can ask for forgiveness, you can circle back and invite the Holy Spirit back into you, and He will come back, because you've humbled yourself, and we're really putting God first at that point. So when we abide in Him, then His words start coming out of our mouth instead of our words, and that makes it very easy to share the gospel. And I've never seen a better time to tell everybody that I come in contact with about Jesus. Now, let's talk about that for a minute. What are we supposed to do? What did Jesus tell when he sent his disciples out? First, he sent the 12 out. Then he sent about 70 out after that, according to the Gospel of John. How's that supposed to be? How's that supposed to work? Well, here, it's very simple. We have a very, very simple part in this, and that is to present the option that God created the world, that we sinned, that without Jesus we are all headed to hell, which is total separation from God, but if we accept Jesus and we believe in Jesus and we believe that Jesus is the Son of God and did what he did, and we believe God is God, then we can be saved. He can move into us and save us and deliver us from hell. And that's it. It's not our job to convince anybody that God is God and Jesus is Jesus and they need Jesus. If the Holy Spirit is not present doing that, move on to the next one. If somebody is telling you that they're saved, or they're thinking they're saved, and they're not acting like it, but they have heard the gospel, then move on to the next one. That's what Jesus said to do. He said, if they don't receive you, shake the dust off your feet and roll on to the next place. If you come under persecution, go to the next city. See, the object for a true disciple in this age is to tell everybody, because when we tell everybody, then Jesus returns. Who gets saved, or how bad we want somebody to be saved, and I'm telling you, there's people in my life that I want them to be saved so bad I don't know what to do. But they've been presented the option. The Holy Spirit has not done his work. They have not accepted it for whatever reason. That's, from that point, it's between them and God until that salvation and that change takes place. God's the only one that can do it. They have the information. Personally, I think apologetics is one of the biggest wastes of time that's ever been, because a bunch of intelligent people trying to logically prove that God is God and Jesus is Jesus to another group of intelligent people that just don't see how that's possible. It's not our job to convince anybody. Jesus never told us to go out and convince people that I'm the Son of God. He said, present the gospel. If the Holy Spirit doesn't, the Holy Spirit does the convincing, not us. See, this is a very simple thing. God made this very easy for us to reach all people in the world. I mean, I'm talking to you looking at a tablet sitting here right now, a tablet that I can go all over the world with and do anytime I want to and tell people about Jesus. There's people all over the world you can reach on your tablet. You can start reaching them 5 minutes after you hit stop on this. It's not hard, okay? And right now we have the most tremendous opportunity to do that I've ever seen, because you see, God has either caused or let a situation come about that covers the entire world that no man can solve. In other words, he's done more in the last 2 weeks to get the attention of everybody on this planet than any time I've ever seen. And the third opportunity we have is to make disciples. There's never been a better opportunity. And the ones that believe, the ones that we tell about Jesus, the ones that believe, are the ones that God brings to us to begin to present correct information to, and encourage them and help them grow and help them get their habits to the place where it is a daily study, it is a daily prayer time, it is daily training, so they can walk with God every single day the way Jesus taught. And we can video conference with them if they're in other countries, using WhatsApp and some other apps. Okay, we can send them messages, we can send them emails. We can talk with these people. We can build them. We can train them. We can build them into people that know the truth and know what they're really to be about, so they can begin to share the same with others, and that creates multiplication. See, that's what the church in Acts did that we don't do anymore. We run to buildings and listen to preachers, and Jesus never told us to do that. I mean, it's just not in there. Go through the Gospels. He meant for every member of his body to be an evangelizer and a disciple maker. And that's what he told us. And we're going through the lessons we're going through right now, the studies we're going through, prove that better than anything I've ever seen. And I hope God is speaking to you through that and telling you just how true that is. And if you don't feel that happening, and you don't sense that happening, you better listen harder, because that is exactly what we're to be about. So use this time for the kingdom. Use this time for the glory of God. Grow close to Jesus. Share the gospel. Get so close to him that when you open, the best feeling in the world is when you open your mouth and start talking. You know, when somebody starts talking about, oh, how bad it is and what we're going to do and what's going to happen and this, that, and the other, and something just starts welling up in you to tell them about Jesus, you know, and how short this life is and how long, you know, what's going to happen forever. And God starts giving you words to say, and they just start coming out of your mouth, and it's like you're standing there watching. It's not even you saying it. That's the coolest thing, and I want each and every one of you to be able to experience that. And I want you to teach others how to experience it, and teach others that'll teach others that'll teach others, because that's multiplication. That's what gets the gospel to everybody on the planet. That's when Jesus comes back. That's when Satan's no longer allowed to exist here. That's when our troubles are over. This is it. Now, and I don't mean to minimize human suffering. I do not want humans to suffer. Neither does God. But can you think of another button God can push with humans to get them to turn to him? With us? No. Nothing else works. The better we have it, the less we think we need him. The better the circumstances and the things of this world and the ways of this world, the easier our life seems, the less we think we need God. That's what the flesh does. That's why the third world countries need God. See, they went into this needing God. A lot of them, like we've never even thought about needing God. Because lots of times they need God just to eat that day. So now it's our turn. Everybody gets to need God the way God means for us to need him, because he knows it's the best thing for us, is to need him above all else. Spend time with Jesus. Share the gospel. Make disciples. Love you.